Alright, let's try round 3 with this thing. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all those people out there. Yes, it's back. The old laptop. So, we're going to try round 3 with this thing. We're going to have one more crack at this to see if we can get this upgraded and working properly. In case you didn't know, there's 2 other videos that were posted relatively recently. They should have really been posted months ago, but of course they weren't. Where I tried to upgrade this, and I got about as far as putting 4GB of RAM into it, up from its 1.5. But the one thing that I kept failing on was the SSD. First SSD I put in there just purely didn't work, and didn't want to accept anything. The second SSD wasn't recognised on most things that took it. Even though I managed to get Linux onto it, I couldn't boot the thing. So okay, I thought I'd just try and have another go at this, and I had a long think about what I wanted to do, and I've got some extra parts which I'll bring in just a second. Alright then, so as you see before you, these have been already previewed on another video, but I'm going to go into more detail here. On the left we have of course the SSD. Now this one actually, I had a long think about this, and I reasoned that possibly the reason why the other SSDs didn't work is because they were too new. There was like SATA 3 SSD going into a SATA 1 laptop, which is probably not going to work. And there's no pins, or there wasn't in the back. There wasn't any pins in the back of the SSD. I don't have a 2.5-inch drive around here to show you, but basically there's pins near the back that can actually be configured to change the speed. Couldn't do it. Then I reasoned upon, well, if I could find a SATA 2 SSD. I don't really remember seeing lots of reports of these not working in SATA 1 equipped machines. About when these would have come out, SATA 1 of course would have been all over the place. So let's have a go, and I managed to find a new old stock OCZ Vertex 2. This is a SATA 2 SSD, as you can see. This should work. If it doesn't, I'll pull whatever remaining hair out I have on my head, and well, we'll have to figure something else out, but this should work. There's no reason not to. As well as that, I've got this TP-Link wireless card thing. There's more detail on that in the other video. I think more of what we need to do in this video is not to faff about with sort of discussing things. Let's just get these things in there. But we need to unwrap them, of course. Let's do that. So there's not a great deal of stuff in the package, and again, why would there be? We've got the actual wireless card itself and the driver disc. So I'm going to try and install this on the XP installation we've got in here, just so it's in there, just so I can test it. And then we can probably upgrade or do whatever we want to after that for the SSD, which I'm just about to get into right now. I must say, nice packaging. Let's see if I can get this out one-handed. Oh, hang on. I think this is like the full desktop drive upgrade kit, so there could be a plate in here. Oh, hold on. Okay, it took a lot of work to get out of the box. I was right, there is a drive conversion kit in here. So that's quite nice if you didn't already have one. I don't need any of these, however, because all of my things already have this. Although I might use this in some other place, actually. This is going to be pretty good. Yeah, let's just put that aside. Or up there, whoops. And I believe we have the SSD. The duration of warranty, well, date of purchase, that would have been a while ago. My SSD is faster than your HDD. It might well be, but there's lots of SSDs which are faster than this SSD. Only saying. And there, I had it right the first time. Good God. There is the SSD. It's a very nice presentation in this packaging, and I believe you get all the screws you need with it. Come on. Getting shot. Yeah. So let's try and get this out. Put that over there as well. Hang on. Caution. Content sensitive to electrostatic, and I'm not even wearing a wristband. YOLO! I hate that word. I feel so dirty. I do apologise. Okay. Right, this needs 2 hands. Okay, I got the SSD out, and a big contrast to a lot of SSDs. This appears to be made completely of metal and is relatively heavy. Interestingly, there's those pins I was talking about, but they're not actually on the board. You'd probably have to mount your own pogo pins in there or something like that. But anyway, there is the SSD. And it is looking fantastic. What have we got there? All that information which you probably don't need. Basically, do not drop, don't be a cock, don't press it. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Vertex 2, everyone. Right, I think we need to get this laptop open, but I need some refreshment, so I think we'll get off to the shop and we'll get some refreshment and be back on with this. What do you reckon? You get some refreshment too, I think. You all need to drink. Get a snack. There's like a bus in 10 minutes to the store. I can't be bothered. The next one's at like 22 minutes past or something. I'll get that one. We'll put the wireless card in. Alright, so while I'm kind of, you know, faffing around, hang on a second, just trying to get comfortable. I figure we'll just do this first. I mean, why not? I feel like I've done this a million times. Oh no, wait, that's because I have. That's the screwdriver. There's actually a screw in there. Oh yeah. Okay, we're fine. I just thought there maybe wasn't a screw in there. Okay. How do we get this off again? Right. Okay. So this should be a simple enough operation. The card is just literally under there. Hang on, I've got to pull the antenna off. It's just like a ram stick in a way, this one. And there we go. Oh, there we go. This is difficult. It's an old, I think it's Broadcom, it's BCRM on it. Very nondescript wireless G piece of tap that we're going to replace with this new one. Now that, come on, that looks a lot different and a lot better in my opinion. A lot tidier. Good stuff. Right, now I could attach the antenna first because this is kind of difficult. This is going to be super hard to do when it's in situ. It's easy to take them off, but it's hard to put them on again. Is that in? Oh, I'm going to call it in. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to literally reverse the process and put this back on. I think all the screws are there. Yes, they are. Hopefully the last time I'm going to have to do this because I really don't want to be faffing around with this too many times. More than likely I'm going to probably have to take this off again. You know how things go. Get in. What's actually stopping that from going in? Oh. Alright, this is going to be better if I just do this without recording it. Okay, so that's done. So we need to open up the hard drive cavity and put the hard drive back in because I've got that somewhere. There, I've got you a bit better angle as well. What I decided to do before I did that is I'm just going to do the data transfer to make sure that this is actually on the disk and ready before we actually go over. So what's going to happen is, it looks odd here, why I've got a 3.5, it'll become clear in a moment. The mechanical disk is going to get put into this one because it's a lot safer, it won't scratch the SSD like it did the last time. Move that out the way, the SSD is going to go into this one, but it's a 3.5 you say. Not quite. See what this is, it's a bit like that other thing I used last time, except it's better. It's if I can open it, it's basically a drive converter that converts a standard 2.5 inch into a 3.5. And it did have like a USB socket on the side, which made it very useful as a quick and dirty USB enclosure. But interestingly, it doesn't work on Windows. It works fine on the Mac. Very odd, don't know why that is, but what we're going to do, eyeball this correctly. What the hell is that? Yeah, as far as I understand, you just literally slot it in any old way. And it's done. And then the same thing with this one, as long as I don't break it. And get that one the right way around. Yeah. So we now have two complete systems or ways of doing this. So we're going to utilise the new PC for this one, because it needs to. Let's get going. Right, I was all set up and ready to go. Had the hard drive all plugged in, fine. Realised I hadn't turned the drive caddy on in the PC, and there's no power. Obviously, last time I was in there, I've disrupted a cable, which was only recently because I put new fans in the thing, and it doesn't power up. So I'm going to have to go inside the PC case, and this is going to take longer than I thought. But hey, it wouldn't be the same without any problems occurring now, would it? Well, I'm back from the shop later, and I fixed the problem with the PC. I hadn't pushed the cable back in, it was out by half a centimetre. Anyway, I've plugged the drive in, it's been recognised immediately, and we're going to initialise it. But being as this is an old laptop, pretty much we're going to have to initialise it using MBR. GPT is just, I don't think it's even understood by the hardware. So we'll click OK on that. Make this a tad bigger, actually could do with a better camera angle, to be honest. Let's go back to the other place. Okay, so we've got the drive, 101.79 unallocated. Let's do that. Use simple volume. We'll give it a drive letter. Let's do it X. Format this volume with the following settings. Go. I maybe shouldn't have done, but at least it'll give us a way to see exactly what we've got here. Okay, so that eventually finished, but that took a decent while to do that. Anyway, let's have a look. Anyway, it's appearing inside of Explorer, so I'm going to run a few quick checks in order to see if this actually shows up with Crystal Disk mark or info, either one. Right, if this value gets anywhere near like 260, 270, we've kind of got a good SSD here. If it's absolutely nowhere near, like 10, 20, we've got a problem. Well that's fine, I mean 221 is okay. It's kind of like, this is an oldish SATA 2 SSD, so you won't actually be hitting the maximum, you'll actually be hitting the overheads of its ability to interface with a computer. That may increase, but it probably won't. Okay, so it looks like it's finished. Not quite the results I was hoping for. I mean, I do understand it is going to be less. So it's within the realms of it actually working. But I'm having a look on the packet here. It does say max performance, read up to 285, write up to 275 with a sustained of 250. I kind of feel that that's maybe best case scenario, although this is more than enough. I mean, the write speed, do remember here, we're putting it into a SATA 1 interface. So with overheads and everything taken into account, you'll be getting about 150 anyway, maybe even slightly less. So this write speed will be contained, but whatever. Anyway, should be good enough. Right, there's a couple of things I need to do. I was going to put this straight into the laptop, but I might try firing up the laptop with the old drive in it first, just so I can try and get the driver loaded on and see if all that works. Yeah, yet more feelings of deja vu. Oh no, wait, I have done this before. Have I secured that in? No, I haven't. Do I even have the screws? I think I do. Good God. Tell you what, I think just for the purposes of this test, I'm just going to shove the drive in there as is, to be honest. Should be fine, right? I mean, and if we just put the cover back on, secured with the screws, should be enough. Right, let's try and find the power supply. Alright, after a lot of swearing, a beer, this very delicious thing, and then finding the power supply, I've got the drive in the bottom. Hopefully this makes an adequate connection. And let's power this up and install the drivers. I've had to put everything on a USB stick, so, where is it? There we are. There we go. So that's on this because the optical drive in this is busted. So let's turn it on. Okay, we're actually loading Windows. Oh god, the battery's flashing on the camera. Yay! Tell you what, while that loads, I'm going to find a battery charger for this thing. Okay, so we got not exactly a power adapter plugged in, but I've got my portable power bank. So, oh, it's found new hardware. This may be where we put our USB stick in, if I can only find where the port was. Right. Okay, we'll try just looking on the stick itself. Okay, we're getting somewhere. What have I got? Shit. Hold on a second. Okay, it looks like I have the bottom middle one. Another instance of the setup's already running. Oh, shut up. You shouldn't even be there, Zone Alarm. I uninstalled you. Christ, what's going on here? Okay. Okay, so everything looks like it's loaded now. Let's try switching on the wireless. See if that does anything. Nope, it can't detect any wireless. Hold on. Oh, hang on a second. Wireless connection. It detects it, definitely. Right, view available wireless networks. Well, it can't seem to fix that. It's trying to connect to a wireless network that it isn't actually connected to. Right, I'm just gonna have to fix this myself. I'll be back soon. Aha! Since I changed the software to the client software, like selecting what it was, it's suddenly found networks. Isn't that weird? Let's try and connect to. There we go. It's one of. It can see the network. Right, let me just punch in the details. Alright, moment of truth. It's going to try connecting to it. Oh, I see activity. At the bottom of the screen there. You can do it. Oh yeah, turn my PC off, by the way. I dropped a can of Coke partly on my keyboard, so I've got to try and clean that now as well. Oh, Zone Alarm's popped up. It's found a new network, and it says it's connected. I've really got to get rid of Zone Alarm. This is an ancient version. Right, it's connected, so let's try out the internets. Yes, we are still running Google Chrome on here because apparently it still works. This thing is slow as hell. Come on! Can't wait to put the SSD in this thing. This is just doing my head in. There we go. Vista are no longer supported. Well, I know that. Let's see if there are any updates anyway. It's probably not. Nah, 49. We're on the last one. Well, we've got internet. Right, let's try youtube.com. Oh my god, go away! Right, let's have a look at this whole Microsoft Surface thing. This was a laugh last time I looked at it. Well, not a laugh, but you know what I mean. Oh, it doesn't like that very much. Let's try bumping the quality down a little bit. Let's go to 240p. Actually, no. Let's put it down to 144. You can at least manage that. It's like, come on. Oh. It's not too good. Let's take a look at what Task Manager says. Right, now looking at the network panel, it kind of says its link speed is 130 megabits. That's not quite right. I would have thought that link speed would have been 300 because this is megabits, remember. Standard PCI interface, unless this is different in this laptop somehow, should be around about 133 megabytes a second transfer, which is completely different, but oh, I don't know. Network utilization is hovering anywhere between 0.13 and it's not a lot, to be quite honest with you. I mean, the memory amount we have in this machine is enough, so that's not the problem. What I'd like to try and do next though is, this appears to work, so I'm going to try out a couple of other things and then we're going to put this on the bench again, and we're going to actually dismantle it and transfer it to the SSD. Well, it seems to work a lot better since I closed down a lot of unruly sort of tasks inside of Chrome, so I've closed plugins. Mind you, this is the Surface video, which is playing at 144p, which is crap. Let's see if I can bump it up. Oh god, no. It's chopping. Is it gonna work? No, it's pooped itself. Screw this. Let's get the thing... Oh, it's trying. Never mind. Let's get this thing apart and put the SSD in. Finally, a disk copy is underway. This might take quite a while, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to show anything until I put it back in the computer. We've been here before, I believe. So, catch you later. Well, that process seemed to complete reasonably successfully. It sort of went quick in the beginning and then slowed down a bit. But I'm assuming all is okay. I'm just going to plop this in without anything, just so I can check that it actually boots. Once we find out it does, then I will just return the cover. So it's just going to be very careful of this. Okay, so let's power it on. Fans are going, that's always a good sign. Red screen of doom. Oh, there's Windows. Come on, Windows. Oh, that was quick. Is it going to do it? There's the... Oh, yep, that's quick. You load them personal settings. There's the startup sound, and we're in. I think this is actually working. This is just going quicker and quicker and quicker. Found new hardware. Okay, what are you doing? Oh no, wait, that's the SSD. Windows has finished installing. Yes, I want to restart now. Go on, boy. That thing doesn't usually arrive until 5 minutes into the future. What the hell? Hang on a moment. Right, now it chose to shut down after I got rid of that message. Alright, so this is a lot quicker. This loaded up bloody quick. I think we've cracked it this time. Right, come on, Acer. Have a sip of my beer. My beer? I meant to say victory sip. Whatever, you know what I mean. Come on. As I said before, you can do it. It's only this bit which it seems to struggle on. But then again, I think this is possibly the same on the other hard drive, except it would have been a lot slower than this. There we go. And we're in. And there's the power monitor. I think, ladies and gentlemen, this has worked. Although I do know that the Nod antivirus is quite broken, so I'm just going to deactivate that for the moment. Well, that seemed to work out pretty good, actually. So what I'm doing now is just putting this in, except I cannot remember which way it goes. I should know this by now because I've done this several times. Oh yeah, tab goes that way, that goes that way, so that is the way we do that one. So I'll just get my trusty screwdriver and I will continue. Boom. There we go. Took a little bit of effort to fit it in because I think either this frame was warped or there was some oddity with the SSD casing, but now you should... This is probably... Well, actually, no, there's no probably about it. This is going to be the last time... Is it all in smoothly? Yep, the last time that I open this up. I hope. I don't envisage anything else. I mean, potentially if I do something with the optical drive, which I'm trying to think about doing, then maybe it'll be open again. How's that go on? Ah, because you got it round the wrong way, Stephen, that's why. Oh well. I think if I hadn't already been a bit mad, I am definitely going mad now. Why isn't that staying down? I think that's it. I'll just fire it up again to test. Well, that doesn't seem promising. Well, after checking out a couple of little things and running a disk speed check, as you can see, that's what I get out of it, this appears to be running quite well. The experiment has now worked, so third time lucky. I am a little bit, well, not perturbed, but yeah, I think it must be overhead or something that's stopping this from achieving its full speed, because we're only getting basically a little over double of what the right, what the right speed was on the mechanical drive, although this is about 3 times as fast, or maybe 4 actually. So we've still got advantages, it's still pretty good. Can't really complain too much. This is all this laptop's ever going to do. I mean, in the future, what I will experiment with is I'll try putting it on a different SSD, like one of those M-SATAs, the cheapy ones from China. Probably won't work, but I'll test it out anyway. But until that point, I think we can close this one off. In the future, what I might be doing is getting a battery for this, and then perhaps maybe something for the optical drive. But until then, thanks for watching. Still formatting. Still formatting. Still formatting. This doesn't bode well, by the way. It shouldn't be taking this long to format.